in the chat box. All right. If you've been in our previous sessions, you can drop a 2 or anything. All right. So it's important for us to know how we can engage you. Just drop a 1 so that we will know that today is your first time of being in our midst. All right. So I can see a couple of ones. First time. Today is my first time. Fantastic. First time. Amazing. This is amazing. So we are going to try as much as possible to break this session down from the basics, right? So that we can carry you along. We can be able to bring you from the unknown to the known. Okay. So I'm going to try and bring up my screen so that we can start immediately. All right. Hi, Josephine, please, are you on the call now?
Yes, I'm on the call.
All right, fantastic. So fantastic. I have Josephine with me here. So we both are going to be telling you why tech recruiters choose Scrum Masters over project managers, right? So this is something that we all need to be able to understand, right? When we hear about project managers, what comes to mind? When we hear about Scrum Masters, what comes to mind? So today, we are going to be able to demystify this and make it possible for you to understand what each of these discipline, how they get to interact with stakeholders, how they get to help the tech ecosystem to grow and make everything work easily. So we are at analytics, and I don't know whether you guys can still see my screen. Please confirm if you can still see my screen. Hi, Josephine. Hi, Ebele. Please, can you see my screen? Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
So going ahead, we are at analytics, and basically what we do is we help Africans, people of the Black community, we help them learn premium tech skills and lowering the entry barrier into the tech, making it easier for them to be able to get the jobs of their dream within the tech ecosystem, right? And our services ranges between data analytics, business analysis, data engineering, data science, financial analytics, HR analytics, cybersecurity, Scrum Master, and of course, we also have courses coming up in AI engineering, right? And this is us playing from the trying to help all the Black community, all the Black individuals, lowering the entry barrier into tech and making it possible for them to be able to enter into the tech ecosystem. And our facilitators come from diverse sectors, right? From reputable organizations like Apple, Microsoft, Google, Coca-Cola, etc. And these are people that we bring into the classroom to help and teach our students what they need to do for them to be able to transition into any of these career paths that we have outlined, right? So basically, these are Adeza and Efemena, and they are the founders of Tenalytics. Adeza, Suleiman, and Efemena Ipro. Adeza serves as data analytics experts in UK, US, Canada, and I've also worked across Africa. And he has close to or more than a decade experience in data analytics in sectors like edtech, energy, automobile, and financial services, right? And he trained over close to 10,000 participants within his time frame, all right? And also on the right-hand side, you're going to see Efemena. Efemena also serves as a data science contractor in UK and US, and also work in Canada as a data scientist. And he has close to more than a decade experience cutting across multiple sectors in the data analytics space, right? So these are our founders. And what led them into coming up to say, okay, we need to build analytics is because they've played so much well in the tech ecosystem. And they found out that once they get into jobs, into roles, the people that they get to meet are only Indians. And basically, they don't get to see Africans within their workspace. So this led them to say, okay, it's time for us to try and lower the entry barrier into tech and make it possible that we can lift and bring our people, the Black community, into the tech ecosystem, right? So that when you search for videos online on YouTube, you're not just going to see people that are doing what you're looking for in a language that you do not understand. You are going to see Africans, you are going to see Blacks doing and trying to give you everything that you need. And this is what led them into founding Tenalytics. And today, of course, here on the call with me, we have our amazing facilitator for today, who is Josephine Bosa. So, Josephine, I don't know whether you want to unmute and say a couple of things to people on the call.
Oh, yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Josephine.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm particularly excited to be on this call today. So anytime we're discussing about Agile and Scrum, it sort of gets me excited because it's an opportunity to enlighten people on another career path, another tech career path that they can take advantage of. So I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much, Chukwemeka.
Josephine. So Josephine is a certified professional Scrum Master, right? And she has close to a decade experience in the Agile industry. She's been recognized for proficiency within the use of Scrum methodologies, and she's a sought-after speaker and contributor to the Agile community. So basically, we are going to hear Josephine today on why Scrum Masters, why tech recruiters prefer Scrum Masters to hiring a project manager. Of course, she works in one of the largest fintech firms in Africa, and I'm sure that we here have used one of the products that Josephine helped to bring to life. And I am Chukwemeka Ikpa, the COO of Tenalytics. I have close to 10 years experience data analytics and control, data protection. I've played in multiple sectors, in finance, in hospitality, in capital markets. And today we are here with Josephine to make sure that we are able to tell you why tech recruiters choose Scrum Masters over project managers. So basically, we have a couple of things that we're going to run across today, right? And number one in the list of things that we are going to do today is why do you need to choose a career as a Scrum Master, right? And this is the first question that we have to answer for ourselves, right? I'm going to answer it for myself. You are going to answer it for yourself. And we're also going to help you understand where the opportunities currently lie in tech, right? So it's not just about knowing where, it's not just about knowing that you want to get into tech. You need to also be able to understand where the opportunities in tech currently lie. And we are going to take you to number two thing that we're going to do, which is how can you get started as a Scrum Master? And then finally, why tech recruiters choose Scrum Masters over project managers. Yes, I think someone is asking whether we can get the recording. Yeah. So you will get the recording at the end of the session. Just make sure that you put your name in the attendance sheet that my colleague Lydia dropped in the chat box. So if you write your name in the attendance sheet, you are going to get the slides and you are going to get the recording of this session. So number three thing that we're going to talk about is also to tell you about our upcoming program, which is on 2nd of March. And this is basically where you get to start your Scrum Master journey. And finally, the success stories, people that have trained in the past, what do they have to say? And by virtue of you being on this call to the end, I have a special discount that is specially curated for you. So please hang on and make sure that you bring your paper and pen and write as much as possible what we are about to discuss. So guys, please, we need the recording as I'm in transit. Yes, of course, you are going to get it. Just make sure that you fill up in the chat box. Okay, let's move ahead, right? So first thing that I would say that we're going to talk about today is basically why do you need to choose a career as a Scrum Master? Why do you want to get into the Scrum Master field? Why do you want to join the tech ecosystem, right? I want to see our response in the chat box. Just tell me the reason why you want to be a Scrum Master or why you want to pivot into the tech ecosystem, right? So just with a sentence or a word, just tell me why you want to be a Scrum Master, okay? So I'm looking at chat box. I've not seen anything yet. I need to be sure that we are following so that I can carry us from a place of the known to the unknown. All right. So just in a couple of minutes, I'll just be seeing why do you want to transition into the tech ecosystem, right? Just put it in the chat box. Why do you want to become a Scrum Master? Just drop it in the comment section. People have a lot of motivators that is pushing them. So I want to hear your own reason for trying to join this exact career path. All right. Can anyone hear me? I've not seen any comments in the chat box. Hi, Adam. Hi, Lydia. Please confirm if you can hear me. Okay, I'm seeing a couple of comments. I want the money in tech. That's from Blongs. Blongs said that he or she wants to have the money in tech. Chioma said extra income and career variety, right? So I want to hear, guys, why do you want to be a Scrum Master? Why do you want to transition into the tech ecosystem? Because basically, this reason that I wanted to drop here is what's going to keep you motivated, is what's going to give you the drive to push from the beginning to end, right? So, guys, it's not just Blongs and Choma that we have on the call. I want to see what others have to say, right? I want to explore a new career path, bigger networks, to have an edge in the labor market as I'm currently studying project management, fantastic one on Motor SA, and a lot of global opportunities in tech, and to be relevant in the era of technology advancement, to expand my horizon and career development. Fantastic one, amazing. So we've all given amazing reasons why we want to change and be and transition into the Scrum Master field or transition into the tech ecosystem, right? And these reasons are 100% valid. They are very, very valid. Number one thing that we all need to have going into this is to be able to understand this is the motivating factor that is leading me to want to do this, right? Because when the going gets tough, when you remember the motivator that you had at the beginning of your journey, that is going to give you the extra push to push on, right? So a couple of things why people choose a career in Scrum Master or people try to transition into the tech field is basically number one, great work-life balance, right? Businesses these days offer their employees the option to work from anywhere. I can be working for personalities from Canada today. Tomorrow I'm in Africa on vacation or anywhere, right? So you have that liberty. You have that ability to be able to balance your work with your personal life, right? And that can be the reason why you want to be a Scrum Master. That can be the reason why you want to transition into the tech ecosystem, right? Another reason why people want to be in this exact field is because of the growing job opportunities, right? There is constant growth in the jobs that we have in the tech field because every day companies are springing up. That's how the need for people to fill these roles. And for that roles to be filled, for any team to function, to build their products or anything, there will always be need for a Scrum Master. The Scrum team needs to be built and the Scrum Master needs to be there. So your own reason why you want to be in tech might be because you want to be where the jobs are growing, or because you don't because this is a field that you don't really also need a degree in that area to practice in, right? Josephine, that is a senior Scrum Master today, studied public admin, if I'm correct. Yeah, our founders at Deza Femina, they are great data consultants, right? But they studied management courses, economics, and industrial chemistry. But today, they practice in the tech ecosystem as a full-blown voice, right? And these are things that can motivate you to say, I want to be a Scrum Master. I want to be in the tech ecosystem because these are areas that you want to be able to play in. And as someone's rightly said, fantastic salary and benefits, right? Because of the constant growth, because of the constant need for people in this area, the demand is always high, whereas the supply is low. And because of this, price goes high. So this is simple economics that we all know. Once the demand for a particular product is very high and the supply for it is low, apparently the price is going to go up. And that is why the tech people, Scrum Masters, they have fantastic salary and benefits. And if this is the reason why you want to transition into tech field, it is fantastically correct. You are on the right track, right? If there are other reasons, other motivating factors that you want to be, like, okay, you want to work in the heart of innovation, so that I can confidently say, oh, I'm part of the team that built this product. You want to have that self-assurance, self-actualization, right? I'm able to say, I was part of the people that made this product to come to life. That is also a viable reason why I can say today that you want to be in the tech field, right? So all these are fantastic, amazing reasons. And you have to hold on to one and be able to hold on to it strongly, so that at any point that you're falling out within your training or falling out within your quest to be in as a Scrum Master or be a tech bro or tech sis, right? As we call it today, you need to remember your motivating factor, because that's what's going to keep you going. Of course, like I've already said, the demand is growing at an unprecedented rate. This is the best time to actually get into the tech ecosystem. So on my screen right now, we are going to see a couple of jobs on the left-hand side and a couple of jobs on the right-hand side. So this is the report that was published by the World Economic Forum, right? And what they have tried to do is to try and put together jobs that are going to grow in a couple of years and jobs that are going to decline in a couple of years, right? So on the left-hand side, we are going to see the jobs that are going to grow. On the right-hand side, you are going to see jobs that are going to decline, right? So I want you to just take note of what we have on this left-hand side amongst jobs that are going to decline. I want you to just take note of these product managers, right? Product managers are basically amongst the jobs that are going to decline. I'm sure nobody would have thought, why would product managers decline? How? These guys are hotcakes. But according to what the Economic Forum report, which always predicts, and using their statistical analysis, they predict jobs that are going to grow and jobs that are going to decline, right? So I'm going to push on to where we all need to understand and be in today, right? So still on jobs that are going to grow, if you look at the left-hand side, you will see project managers, and that is the reason that we've gathered here today, right? To understand project management, let's demystify it, right? Because basically we know that inside project management, we have the agile framework and we have the waterfall framework, and Scrum Masters fall under the agile framework, right? So there are basically people that are using modern techniques and agile, the Scrum methodologies to practice project management, while the traditional project managers still make use of waterfall. So as time goes on, we are going to demystify this. We are going to help you understand everything that you need to know. We are going to help you understand the reason why project management, why Scrum Masters are in constant need and growth in our economy, right? And that is what Josephine and myself, we are going to be handling today. So I'm going to call up Josephine so that we do a couple of things and be able to understand who Scrum Masters actually are. How do they play in the tech industry? What exactly are their roles? So Josephine, I don't know whether you are there so that you can help me out from here. Hi, Josephine.
Yeah, hi, Chipemika. That's awesome. You've done a brilliant job trying to get through the basics and the reason why Scrum Masters are now in demand. So this is good. Right now, we have a scenario posed to us, and we'll need to get down to the basics. But before I get to the scenario, I just want to say that one of the reasons why Scrum Masters are in demand and high demand for that matter is that you can apply Scrum anywhere. So it's not just in the tech industry. Scrum applies in the advertising industry, the media, the health industry, name it. It is applicable anywhere. The Scrum framework can work for you regardless of the industry that you are. So what does that even translate to? What that means is that as a Scrum Master, you're not limited to just working in the tech industry. You can work anywhere. That's the beauty of it. So it's not like, oh, I'm a Scrum Master for just the tech industry. You can work with the government. The Scrum framework applies to any industry that you find yourself in, or wherever that you get to land a job. That is one. Now, I know some of you is asking, or most of you probably will be asking, okay, what is even, how did we even get here? Like Chukwemeka has I said before now, that all of this started with project management. There's nothing like a project manager in the first place without project management. Now, the reason why it seems as if the project managers are phasing or, gradually phasing out, and then there's a lot of demand for Scrum Masters is because most companies now prefer the agile methodology. So there is a waterfall methodology, which is, all project managers use. As a project manager, you're accustomed to using a particular methodology, which is waterfall. And then that is also another methodology that we can call it a traditional methodology. And so it's a transition from the traditional method of doing things to the modern method of doing things. And that is where Agile comes to play. And one of the pitfalls of waterfall is that there's so much delay because things are done in sequence. So you have a project that you want to undertake. You're first looking at, you have this idea, you need to walk through the ideation stage, from the ideation stage to the requirement stage, the design stage. So all of these things take time. And we know we are living in a fast-paced world. Everything is fast, from fast food to fast cars to fast living. Yeah. So you want to walk into a grocery store, buy your things, and make payments immediately, while the person who is selling to you is also receiving payments immediately. That's how fast things are getting. So because of things are fast, there's increase in fast delivery. A lot of organizations are looking forward to delivering their products or services faster to the market. And basically, the person who gets to the market first gets the larger chunk of the market share. That is, basically how this demand and supply thing works. So organizations are saying that the agile methodology is not just effective, it is very, very efficient. So what I'm going to do right about now is let's even deep dive into how, we're going to use the Scrum framework, the agile methodology to solve real world problems, because these things are not perfect. You can also apply to your life. And when we talk about projects, projects are not seemingly software applications only. So I know you may be thinking, oh, something very big, like building a website or a software application. It can work, like Scrum can literally work in your daily life. You can apply it in your daily living and see the results. So what we're going to do now is that we have a scenario which is the 10 lang. So we're using the cutting edge language application named the 10 lang. So the 10 lang is our project that we're going to work on. So I would take you through the Jira project management tool. So as a Scrum Master, there are project management tools that you would need to work with. These are tools that you need to work with for your everyday life as a Scrum Master. Now, there are several project management tools out there. Depending on what the organization you eventually be working for is using, you can always, find a way to navigate them. So some of them that you probably may be aware of, we have Trello, we have Jira, and we have Azure DevOps, and much more are coming in. So the idea is that you're going to, if you see this as the career path that you want to undertake and eventually sign up to the next cohort, you're going to be introduced to the most popular project management tool, which is what I'm going to be using right now. And we're going to work on a project called 10 lang. Okay, so now, Chukwemeka, is it okay to share my screen from this point on?
Yes, please. You can share your screen, Josephine.
All right, awesome. So I would like to go through this with everyone. I want everyone to be a part of this, and we would find this not just fun, but interesting and something that we want to apply to our life. So when the question now is, when you want to start a project, when you want to begin a project, how do you make use of Scrum, the Scrum framework? How does the Scrum framework apply to a particular project? So one of the first things you want to do, Scrum is big on empiricism. And what does empiricism mean? Knowledge derived from experience. Now, the whole life that we're living is based on experience. You're experiencing life every day. And Scrum is saying that knowledge derived from experience is the best because you learn by doing. You learn by doing. So the more you do, the more you learn, the more you become an expert, the more you become better at that thing that you are doing. So what you're currently seeing on your screen as we speak right now is the Jira project management tool, Jira, Gira. You can see it here. It's called the Jira software. So this is one of the most popular project management tool that most Scrum Masters use. Like I say, there are a lot more others out there, but this is one of the most popular. And in knowing one of the project management tool gives you a very good leverage to understand the rest. It's just probably a change in features. Just like we have video conferencing to the Zoom that we're using, there's another one called the MS Team, Microsoft Team, and then we have the Google and all of that. So now back to our project. I'm excited about this. We're working on the 10 Lang project. And how does Scrum apply to any project that you're going to be undertaking? So the first thing that you want to do is the first thing that you should know is that in a Scrum team, there are three persons in the Scrum team according to the Scrum guide. Now, I know I'm saying a whole lot of things here, so we'll take it one step at a time. There's something called the Scrum guide. The Scrum guide is the guide, your principle, more like a roadmap that guides every Scrum Master. So your job basically as a Scrum Master is to use the Scrum principles from the Scrum guide to lead the Scrum team. So you're more like the custodian of Scrum. You understand what it takes to move a project and get it delivered faster in the market, which is what matters the most, right? So in a Scrum team, we have three set of people. We have the Scrum Master, the product owner, and the development team. We have the Scrum Masters, the product owner, and the development team. And they are working collaboratively to ensure that they deliver products faster to the market. It's a collaborative effort. So it's not just, you're not just a Scrum Master and like the word literally says, a master. No, the type of leadership that a Scrum Master undertakes is a servant leader. You're a servant leader, and being a servant leader is one of the best form of leadership. So what you're doing is the leadership is called service, which you're serving your team, you're supporting your team, you're guiding your team using the Scrum principle. So right now we're going to play double roles. We're going to play the role of a Scrum Master. We're also going to play the role of a product owner because we want to work on the 10 Lang project. So working on the 10 Lang project means that we need to gather requirements. For instance, if you want to make jollof rice, one of the things that you want to do is to gather ingredients. That's exactly what I'm saying. So jollof rice is more like a project. And if you want to make jollof rice, the ingredients that you want to gather rice, tomatoes, pepper, name it, bay leaf, all the spices that you want to use. You also want to get protein, whatever protein of your choice. So these are the things. So you don't just, hey, I want to make jollof rice, and next thing you jump into it. You need the ingredients. And in that same vein, if you want to carry out a project using the Scrum framework, you need to gather requirements. But one thing about Scrum is that we start from the known to the unknown. So instead of saying, hey, I have this idea in mind, you are still thinking about it. Someone who understands the Scrum framework is saying, what do I know about these ideas? Okay, I know 5 things about this idea. You know what? I'm just going to start with these 5 things because the more I do, the more I learn. So I'm not just going to keep waiting. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get requirements for the 10 Lang. So 10 Lang is basically a project, an application that we're building that helps people learn different Nigerian languages. And for you to gather requirements in this particular project, this requirements would have to be in the product backlog. So your product backlog, what is your product backlog? Don't stress it. Your product backlog is more like a to-do list. Everybody has a to-do list. If you're going to the grocery store, you want to make a list because you most probably don't want to forget not buying some of the things. The tendency to forget is really high. So right now, on my screen, you can see this is what the product backlog looks like. You can see here where my cursor is hovering on. This is the product backlog. You see here the backlog. So there's a whole lot of things in my product backlog. These are different projects that we're currently undertaking in the Tenalytics organization. So I have projects ranging from the food delivery to the application to the dating application. We also have the leave request application and then the 10 lang as well. The 10 lang is here. So what we're doing with the product backlog is that if you say, I want to do a project, as much as the project could be as much as a food, yeah, and you want to gather requirements for cooking jollof rice, one of the things you want to do is to have a to-do list. And there's nothing wrong with a to-do list. So you're making a list of the ingredients that you need. So you're listing it out. You're literally writing it. You're saying, oh, I need rice, tomatoes, and all of that as it goes. So the same way the product owner is making a list, is doing a requirement and putting them into the to-do list. Now, the to-do list in Scrum, we're not calling it a to-do list, we're calling it a product backlog. So this is a bunch of requirements. So I'm going to do one here, right here on the call. We're going to do it together, and then we're going to see how these things work in real time. So I have been gathering requirements on how we can build the 10 lang application. One of the requirements I have here is first thing that we want to do is to create a personalized profile page. Now you can, agree with me that whenever you download an application from the iOS store or from the Android store, immediately you download the application, the first thing you want to do is to sign up. You want to sign up. They need your data before you have access to the application. So same thing that we want to do with the 10 lang application. Create a personalized profile page, create a dashboard for a different language, create a backend implementation for a passcode reset. So all of these are requirements. The same way you're going to gather ingredients to cook your jollof rice. You're not just cooking jollof rice with faith. You're not cooking it from the blue. You need to gather requirements and you need to throw it into your to-do list, which in this case is our product backlog. So like I said, I want us to do the very littlest and very familiar thing. You download an application right about now. The first thing you want to do is to, sign up. So let's do two things this evening. One of the requirements that we're going to be looking at is one, to sign up, and next thing to log in. Because after signing up to an application, the next thing you want to do is to log in with the details of which you signed up to that application. And after logging in, that way you're now inside the application and you can now navigate your way around. So the first thing on our requirements this evening is the sign up page, which is our number one requirement. So how do we create a sign up page? How do we put that particular requirement into our product backlog first? So the first thing we do is to click on this create button that I'm hovering over, this create button. So once you click on the create button, it opens up, very little, showing you some of the things that we need to do. So we create we click on the create and it opens up to this. So the first thing we want to do is that we want to have an epic. Epic is the project. It carries the project that you're working on. And in this case, the project is the 10 lang. We already have an epic. Yeah. So, but I'm going to create another one right here on this call. So we'll see how these things work. So I'm going to use, I'm going to say it this way, 10. So creating an epic, I want to put it here, 10 lang. So this time I already have 10 lang as an epic on the product backlog, but just to create an epic right here on the call, I would add another G, which is 10 lang. So what is an epic? You want to cook jollof rice. Jollof rice is a project. We want to make an application that help people speak any kind of language or any Nigerian language of their choice. So the first thing we want to create is we want to establish that this is the project that we're working on and we're creating an epic. So an epic is that big thing, is that project. The project is a big thing, it's complex. So you want to, put that out here. So this is what we're creating the first time. So create 10 lang. That is our epic. So creating our epic, the next thing we want to do is we want to start creating our user stories for that epic. Okay, great. So now I have my epic. I'm going to click on view issue. I have created my epic. My epic is the project 10 lang. Follow up with me. I know you're going to have questions, but we'll answer those questions as we move further in the class. So now we've created 10 lang. This is the project that we're working on this evening. We now want to create user stories. What are user stories? So user stories are basically the requirements that the product owner is gathering for the 10 lang project. 10 lang, okay, there's a project. So what next? How is people going to use the 10 lang? Yeah. So it's more like saying you have a project idea, but what next? The project idea is still in your head until you go about actually creating requirements and then we're working with these requirements. It's still in your head. So it's not enough that we have an epic. We have established that the project is 10 lang. We need to gather requirements. By gathering requirements, we're creating user stories for this requirement. So this is how you identify a user story. So it's called story. This is how you identify a user story. So in creating a user story, this user story is for the customer. If you're building an application, you're not building it. If you want to make money from it, if there's going to be a return on investment, you're building it for people to use. You're putting it out there in the stores for you and I and everybody in the world to go there and download the application and use it for whatever purpose that you're creating it for. And so if you're creating it for the end users, which is you and I, then you have to create it according to what they are going to like. You're not creating it for your family and friends. It's okay to build an application for your family, for your friends. That's okay. That's good. But if you're looking at a wider market, just imagine that Mark Zuckerberg created Facebook for his family and friends, and we don't know about it. So that's not the idea. So now the idea of user story is that you're creating requirements based off of the user's perspective. It is not just, you're not cooking this jollof rice and food for your family and friends. You're cooking it so that you can sell to the general public. And if you must sell something to the general public, it's not, it has to be good. It has to be quality. It has to be of taste. They have to be in consideration. The people who you're cooking it for has to be considered. And that is where we start creating our user story from. So remember that the first thing you want to do is to sign up. So let's go ahead to create a user story for the sign up user story. So I would say here, create a sign up, create a sign up page. Yeah, create a sign up page. That's going to be our first user story. When you download an app, you sign up. After signing up, you now log in. Yeah. So the next thing we want to do is to create a login page. So we're creating the login page. So now we have two user stories, And this is not it. This is not all of it, but time won't permit us to, create everything around the 10 lang project. But I'm trying to show you step by step what to do when you want to start a project using the Scrum framework. The first thing that wants to happen is that the product owner gathers requirements for this project and then puts it in the product backlog. And from there, the Scrum Master picks up each of these requirements, which is in the user story, and begins to act on it based on some certain criteria. So now we have two user stories. We have the sign up page and then we have the login page interesting. So let's deep dive. It's not enough. We have the epic, the project. We've created 2 requirements. What's next? What's next? The next thing is to now write more into our user stories. We need to flesh out our user story, create a sign up page. Okay, so what are users going to do about the sign up page? So let's open up this SMC 122. So these are like the links that identify each of the user stories. Yeah. So let me get a thumbs up if we're following. Hi, Chukwemeka. Are you there? Are you there, Chukwemeka? I want to get a thumbs up. I want to see that we're following and I'm not fast paced. I'm not moving fast, even though we're in fast work. Oh yeah, I'm carrying everybody along as much as I can. All right. So the next thing I want to do is I want to create a description and an acceptance criteria for my user story. So yes, the first requirement is create a sign up page. So how is this sign up page going to work? The 3 questions that we want to be answering. Remember, I told you that the application you're building is for the end user. It's not for your family and friends in this instance. So you want to write the description and the acceptance criteria based off of the end user. So the 3 questions we're going to be writing is who we're going to be answering for us to write our description and then go ahead to write our acceptance criteria is the who, is the what, and is the why. The question here is who, what, and why. 3 W's. Who is going to use this product? The why is for why do they what do they need this product for? So the who, the what, the why. So what do they need this product for? And the why is why. Why do they need this product? Why do they need this feature? Who is going to use the sign up page? What are they going to be doing with the sign up page? Why are they going to be signing up? So with these 3 questions, let us write our description. So we'll start by saying as a user, I want to be able to sign up on the 10 lang application. I want to sign up on the 10 lang application. And then for what reason? I want to sign up on the 10 lang application to enable me get access to other interesting features in the application. Yeah. So remember, I asked 3 questions. If you're writing a user story, what are the things that you need to have in mind? The very first thing is you need to answer the question of who, what, and why. So the who is the question I've answered there. Who is this person as the user? Now, the user could be anybody. The user could be anybody here. So the user could be Josephine. The user could be James. This user could be anybody. So it's a blank space. The user could be anybody. So as long as you are identifying that this is not for me, this is for the user, then you're answering the question of who. And now, what do you need the sign up page for? You need a sign up page to be able to sign up on the 10 lang application. This is answering the question of the what. The what. The what is to sign up on the 10 lang application. And then the why. Why do you need to sign up on the 10 lang application? You want your users to be able to reach the interesting features that you have. If you're downloading a food app, that you want to learn different kind of cuisines in a food app, you're in your iOS store or in your Android store, whatever mobile device that you're using. Why are you going to download this? First of all, you have interest in trying to cook different food or trying out different food. So the only reason why you're going to download a food app is that as a user, you want to be able to sign up on that food app so that you can see all the different food that they're going to be showcasing or they're going to be teaching in that food app. So it's as simple as that. The user story is not complex. It has to be simple. It has to be clear. It has to be straightforward. It has to be concise. Now, one of the things we need to look at again is now we understand why we're creating a sign-up page. We've been able to establish who this is for, what they need it for, and why they need it. The next thing we want to look at is the acceptance criteria. The acceptance criteria is a list of criteria, more like a checklist, or will I say a characteristics that we are going to use to define this, create a sign-up page. And a lot of us use application on a daily. So this should be really interesting. So one of the things you want to do is to first of all highlight here that at this point, you want to list out the acceptance criteria. So I want us to do this together. You can comment on the comments section, on the comment box, and let's do this together. So what is the acceptance criteria? If you're trying to sign up on an application, what are the things that you will see? What are the things? I want us to try, drop it. There are no right or wrong answers here. I want this class to be really, really interesting and educative. We all use applications. We are either on Instagram, Facebook, name it. And most of us keep downloading more. Probably you're downloading an application to help you keep fit, help you curb your eating, excess eating, whatever it is, or there are lots of applications. So I want us to follow through with this together. What are the things that you see when you want to sign up on an application? I'll go first. So the first thing you most likely get to see using my bullet points is ensure that the login, we're currently at the sign up page. So ensure that the sign up page has an email box. So an email box. So you can just do an email box. So there are questions that you get to see. Immediately you download an application, you want to sign up. It differs, but there are these prompts that you get to see. It shows you email and password. Some people will ask you a lot of things. And I know that there are applications that just bore you out. You're trying to sign up on the application. They're asking you to bring your forefather's name and all of that stuff. But newer applications these days, they don't tend to bore you. Signing up is easy peasy. It doesn't take your time. So the two things they want to require of you when you're trying to sign up is most likely your email address. And then the next thing is your name. So want to ensure that the sign up page, ensure that the sign up page has a password, yeah, or a name. Let's do the name. Requires a password. Sign up page has a name. Okay, name is fine. A name box. So that is one. So next thing, we're just going to do three things. So it requires your name, your email, and your password. So ensure that the sign up page has a password box. Yeah. So a whole lot. So some sign up page will ask you for a whole lot of things, but it's really nice to keep it simple. Because you and I are the users, and you would bear me witness that if you're trying to sign up and it's stressing you, they're asking you plenty things. Yeah, you're out of there. You're most likely going to look for another application that you download that is going to offer you the same thing. So we're keeping it simple, very, very simple. We want users to quickly, and not just quickly, but easily sign up on the 10lang application. So the things that we're requesting as our acceptance criteria to ensure that the users have an email box where they can put in their email, where they can put in their name, and then where they can also put in their password. So we're going to stick with these three. I know that some ask you forgot password, but I think that is when you eventually are logging. So yeah, so we would go ahead to save. And now we have a full functional user story. So this is what a user story is. It most likely may not follow this convention because there are different things, there are different ways of writing acceptance criteria. We have the TDD, the BDD, and then we have the ATDD. Yeah, so all of these you would learn when you join in on the next cohort starting on March. But there are different ways depending on this things that I've named to write an acceptance criteria. But the major thing to know is that when you're creating a user story, just as the word says, user story, a story for the user, not for yourself. So when you're creating a story for the user, which is your requirement, you need to fine tune it just the way a user is going to use it. So it's as simple as this. So now we have the one of the user stories done. We have it done. Now, aside that, there are a whole lot of criteria. As a Scrum Master, when you see a user story as this, one of the things you want to do is to understand if it goes through some criteria, the inverse criteria, it has a good description and acceptance criteria, and all of that. But I mean, we'll talk about that in the class proper. So now we have signed up. Our user has eventually signed up. We have a requirement that would enable our user to sign up. The next thing they want to do is to log in. So the all of the requirements that we have asked during the sign up, we're going to replicate it in the login. Yeah, so I'm just going to go to the sign up user story and most likely copy and paste. And this is eventually what happens. This is what happens to us. You download an application. It asks you for a few information for you to sign up. And then the next thing it says, okay, that the same information that you use in sign up, just so that they ensure that it's the same person, they are asking that those same informations are replicated for the login. Yeah, so I'm just going to tweak this and say, as a user, I want to be able to, I want to log in to, I want to log into the 10lang application to enable me access other interesting features in the application. So this is so basically when we are demoing, what I mean by demoing is that when the developer is showing us a login page, how does this acceptance criteria work? If a developer is showing us that, oh, hi guys, I finally built the login page, it has to have all of these acceptance criteria that we're seeing. So when we're seeing a login page, we need to ensure that the login page has an email box. Does it have a password box? Does it have a name box? All of these are criteria that should make up a login page. It is not a login page if you can't put your email. It is not a login page if you can't put your name. It's not a login page if you can't put your password. These are the things that are requirements for a login page. And these are things that the developer would work with to implement this particular feature. Yeah. So basically now we have two requirements in our product backlog. Let's go back to our product backlog. This is our backlog. You see what I'm hovering over here? This is called backlog. So let's go back to our product backlog. We have two things that we just created in this class for the product backlog. We have the sign up page. We have the login page. So yeah. So let's find our product backlog. Let's find these two features right away. So yep. We have the 10lang. As you can see here, the 10lang, we have the create a sign up page and create login page. So this is how the product owner will be filling this product backlog with all the things that will enable us build the application. So after that, we want to pull this application into the sprint backlog. This is where the work starts. Remember that it is not just an idea now in your head. You've taken the next step of gathering requirements, and you're working from the known. So the Scrum theory is saying that we're not just waiting for everything to be available, everything to be there. We're going to be working with what we know and be delivering value as we work in the Scrum team. So the next thing you want to do is after gathering all the requirements and putting it in the product backlog, you want to pick them one after the other. But before you do all of those pull and drop in the sprint backlog, the product backlog needs to be prioritized. It needs to be ordered. Prioritizing it means that, for instance, you're making jollof rice. You've gathered all the ingredients in for that jollof rice. It is in your product backlog. Now, what it means is that you need to prioritize it as you cook in order of priority. What's the first thing? Probably you bought those kind of rice that you want to parboil, or the first thing is you want to make the protein. So it has to be prioritized. What can you make now? What is available now? What requirement is available now for you to make? So after we have prioritized the product backlog, and all of this happens in the backlog refinement. So there's this meeting that happens with the Scrum Master and the product owner, both looking at what is already prioritized. And from those prioritized lists, we are committing those items into the sprint backlog. The sprint backlog is when the work starts proper. So the sprint backlog is saying that, okay, these items is what we are committing to the sprint, and this is what the developers will work on as a team. So this is how you identify a product backlog. You see here, this is a backlog. This says backlog, and you see create sprint. This is a product backlog with all of these items in it. Now, we want to get to the sprint proper. This is how you identify a sprint backlog. You see here, it says start sprint. So when I hit on this, the sprint starts. What it means is that this is what we have committed to. Create a login page, create a sign-up page for the 10 land. This is the first thing that we're working on in this iteration. After we're done with this, we'll go back to the product backlog, pick another items, deliver it in 2 weeks, depending on the sprint duration that we're following, go back again, pick another item. So what this means is that instead of waiting to deliver a project in 6 months, 8 months, in every 2 weeks, we're delivering increments. There is something that we're delivering from the project, bit by bit by bit. And that's how Agile works. So we're not waiting to, hey, we're gathering requirements. We use 2 months to gather requirements. Or it's still in we're doing design. We use 3 months to do design. At the end of the day, things change. Inflation is biting hard everywhere. So imagine if you committed $10 million to a particular project and we're using 8 months, 10 months, 12 months to deliver the project. That is your money. First of all, your money is depreciating. And imagine after 8 months, 10 months, there's something wrong with that project. That's a whole lot of ballgame entirely. But Agile is saying we're not waiting for 10 months. Every 2 weeks, every iteration, we're churning out a value or bringing out value. The stakeholder or the venture capitalist or the investor is seeing something with their eyes. They have not seen the entire project, but they're seeing something that we're doing. They're seeing a login page. They're seeing a sign-up page. They're seeing things that we're bringing out at every iteration. So there's so much to talk about, and I can go on and on and on, and there is no time for that yet. So what do you think, Chukwemeka? Let's get back into the class again, and then we can discuss other things about Scrum. So this is interesting. I don't know if
Yeah,
we all participated.
fantastic session, Jocelyn. Fantastic, fantastic. Sincerely, I was already, I didn't want it to stop. I just wanted to complete the project end to end, so I'll just learn everything, right? All right. So, guys, we're
Awesome.
going to get back into the session proper. This is just like a tip. We're just showing you what you can possibly get. And this is basically to show you that Scrum Master, being a Scrum Master, is not rocket science. These are things that under 1 month, under 2 months, you can easily get used to. Hi, Adam. Hi, Bosa. I can't seem to be able to share my screen. Can someone make me a co-host again, please? Can you make my other device a co-host, okay? I can't seem to be able to share my screen from there. I think to scroll down, you're going to see another Chukwemeka down. Okay, I think I can. Hi, Adam, are you there? Hi,
Okay,
Josephine.
so
Yeah,
mind I
hi.
share my screen? Yeah,
All right.
I think I can do that. Okay, so just get to it now. Okay, so let's get this up. Probably need to know where you are at the moment.
All right. I think we can start from just scroll up a little bit because
Yeah,
we've
I think
discussed a
my
lot. Yeah, I can see
up
your screen.
thing. Yeah, okay, awesome.
Yeah,
So I think this was when we are where we were
yeah.
at the
We
moment.
touched almost
So
everything there inside
I
the
see
slide.
that.
So you can scroll down a bit.
Okay, so where do I start from? Point me to it.
Just keep
Just
going down.
okay,
Yeah,
to
no. You just past it so that we discuss the main
okay,
thing, why exactly tech recruiters are actually looking out for Scrum Master more than they are looking out for project managers. Yeah, I think that should be right there. Correct. Fantastic. So
awesome.
basically, remember the reason why we are gathered here. Number one is for us to understand why exactly do tech recruiters choose Scrum Masters over project managers. So Josephine, just go to the first the other page, yeah, and you can take it up from here so that people get to understand basically why recruiters are looking out for Scrum Masters instead of the traditional project managers that we have in our everyday lives.
Okay, cool, awesome. Thank you so much for that, setting the pace for that, Chipemika. Okay, so why Scrum Masters in high demand? It's not far-fetched, actually, because we have specialized skill sets. Now, I'll give you a very good example. You have a project, you have money, you want to fund a project. And you have two people who saying, you know what, I can help you fund this project. And one person is saying, I'm going to help you deliver now. The other person is saying, how long are you going to deliver this project? "Ah, I'm going to take 8 months, 6 months. Aja is saying, I'm going to take shorter time. I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to do it in 3 months. And before 3 months, you're actually going to be seeing value for your money based on what you've invested in. So we have the right skill set. The Scrum Masters typically possess specialized knowledge and skills in Agile methodology. What methodology means is that you are a custodian of Agile methods, the method of doing things. What are methods? Let's say you're used to washing your clothes with your hand. That is a traditional way of washing clothes in quotes, just for the sorry, for example's sake. And then someone says, you know what? I don't want you to wash those clothes with your hands anymore. I'm going to get you a washing machine to aid you wash. So what does the washing machine do? It's faster, it's efficient, it's easier. You can do other things. So you literally don't have to exert energy, power doing the manual thing. There's the more modern automated way of doing things. And that is what Agile gives to you. Agile is saying, we're discarding those manual processes. So now, as an agile, as a scrum master, you have the right skill set. And we are collaboration focused. Scrum masters primarily focus on facilitating team collaboration, removing impediments. One of the things project managers do is to micromanage people. And I know some of us already understand how this thing works in our various organizations. So you have a supervisor, the person is always all up in your neck, in your throat, trying to know what you're doing, how you're doing it. It's all up in your business. You're a professional. They're not giving you the free will to do what you want to do. Scrum Masters are not like that. Is more of a collaboration. So we're working together. The software engineer is bringing his professionalism, his experience. The DevOps engineer is bringing in his own experience and professionalism. The product owner is doing the same. The scrum master is doing the same. So it's a collaborative effort. Nobody is more techier than anybody in the scrum team. And we're not micromanaging anybody. So another thing you're doing as a scrum master is to remove impediments. What are impediments? Impediments are blockers. What are blockers? Blockers are challenges. There are times the developers are working on projects and they are encountering one challenge or the other. So your job role is to help smoothing the process, ensure that things are easy for them. And if there are any challenges, there are any impediments, you're removing those impediments for them. Another thing is to improve performance. Scrum Masters play a pivotal role in improving team productivity, quality, and delivery speed. Remember, I kept emphasizing on getting faster delivery, getting to the market faster. He who gets to the market faster sort of monopolizes the market. You have the larger market share. And that is why organizations need Scrum Masters. We are hot cake at the time because do you know how many applications is on the Android store? Do you know how many fintech industry? Do you know how many organizations? Everybody wants to meet up their ROI. They want to make money. And in making money, there is no room, trust me, no room for delay. And they know that the one person who can help them get their product or service faster to the market is a Scrum Master. Now, another thing is the adaptability and flexibility. If you're not flexible, you can't be a Scrum Master. You know those people that say, "This is how we used to do things in our family. I don't change. I'm like this." No, agile starts with your mind. You need to have an agile mindset. If someone is saying, "Hey, I don't want you to use your hand to wash. It gives you bruises. It takes all of your time, your exact energy. I am buying you a washing machine." Why? Why do you want to keep still washing with your hands? You see that you need a shift in mindset. So some people still will say, you know what, they still fall back to say, I still going to just try to wash it with my hand. Hello, uncle, hello, auntie, there's a washing machine. Use it, it's more efficient, it's more faster. So for you to be agile, for you to be a scrum master, you need to get rid of the old ways. You need to stop thinking traditionally. You need to be a forward thinker. How best can we achieve this faster? That is a shift in mindset. So it actually starts from you as a person. Now, the next thing is Scrum Masters empower teams to be self-organized and make decisions collaboratively rather than relying on hierarchical structures. So what this is personally saying is we see this every day in our organization. Organizations where you work that your idea will be thrown out of the window. You can't even say it because it's going to be trashed. Everybody's all up in your business. You're being micromanaged. You're not collaborating. There is no teamwork. There is no team spirit. They don't see you as a professional. They don't trust you. You know, you're just there, but nobody actually sees you and nobody admires the work that you do. For the Scrum framework, that is different. It is 100% collaboration. We are self-organizing, we are self-managing. As a Scrum Master, you're not there to be policing the engineer and say, what are you working on? How are you working it? What language are you using? So it's not everybody is 100% professional. We understand what it takes to deliver the project, and we're delivering the project 100%, right? So the next thing we want to look at is the key reasons for selection. So I think this is where you come in, Chukwemeka. Do you want to take this?
Yes, fantastic. I would love to take that. Thank you so much, Josephine. Do you mind? Let me try to see if I can share my screen right now. All right, I think I can. Okay.
Awesome.
So that I can be able to. Hi guys, hope we are still following. If you are still with us till this moment, just type a 1 in the chat box so that we know that you are still on this call with us till this very moment. We are gradually coming to the point where you are going to get something by virtue of you being on this call till this moment. So please, if you are still with us till this very moment, just type a 1 in the chat box so that I will know that you are still here with us. Okay, I can see a couple of 1. Fantastic, amazing. At least I know that we are discussing with people, right? Amazing. So basically, there are some basic reasons that are the key reasons why we selected to teach some of the courses that we teach here. And for Scrum Master, the reason why we are offering it as a program is because of the ease of learning, right? So there is 100% ease for you to be able to learn this, course to be a Scrum Master. I think someone mentioned in one of the sessions we had in the past that, oh, I didn't have a degree in tech, but analytics was the degree I needed to get into the tech ecosystem, right? And it's because we offer courses that have the ease of learning, right? And number 2 reason is also ease of transitioning or getting a job, right? There is very much ease for you to be able to transition from what you're currently doing now to becoming a Scrum Master and also getting a job. If you notice, we didn't say things like web development and so on and so on, because the ease we understand the need that the people have at the moment, which is how do I easily transition into tech, right? And that is why we've chosen some of the courses that we are offering, inclusive of Scrum Master. And the last is, of course, the high and rewarding salaries. The high and rewarding salaries. If you get into the tech ecosystem, you understand the benefit that comes with this. Like I mentioned initially, because the demand for Scrum Masters are high, because the demand for tech bros and tech seals are high, but the supply is low, right? Because less people are transitioning, less people actually has the skill of what it takes to be there. That is why their salaries are high and are obviously very much rewarding, right? So I know this might sound a little bit off. Sometimes it seems impossible until it's done, right? People feel, okay, are all these things actually true? Can I actually be able to transition to be a Scrum Master in the nearest future? So you see, if I see my screen, you're going to see a couple of guys on my screen. We have Ikmat here. Ikmat was able to transition from a full-time stay-at-home mom to a data analyst in UK after we've prepped her for 3 months in our classroom and also helped her with her interview preps. She landed a job. The beautiful thing about Ikmat's story is that before, when she was still in the class, she got a job, right? But she was not able to take it because she had limitations of the number of hours she can work as a student. But after she completed the session with us, she still got 2 other jobs, right? And one offered her, she had to make choices because one offered full visa sponsorship. So I'm going to play one person's video before we are done, possibly Ikmat's own. But this is to tell you that the success stories are there. Someone like Oluwatosin. Tosin currently works as a fraud analyst in the UK, where he helps to prevent credit card frauds, right? And this is after we've prepped Oluwatosin in our classroom and also done interview preparations with Oluwatosin. And the beautiful thing here is that, like I mentioned initially, is that you do not need to have a tech background for you to be able to transition into any of these fields, right? Someone like Temi worked fully as a lawyer before he was able to transition to a business analyst, right? And during Temi's time here, the most thing that he cherished so much is how we're able to carry people along, right? Because our curriculum has been structured in a way that it brings you from the basic level to the expert level. So you don't have anything to be worried about whether, oh, if I get into the classroom, do I need to worry about understanding? You are definitely going to understand because we've structured our classes in a way that will bring you from step 1, from the beginner stage, introduction to Scrum, and will now take you gradually up the ladder till you are able to master everything that you need to know in that exact area. So we have a couple of success stories on the slide, which you are going to get if you fill the attendance sheet in that my colleague always drop in the chat box, right? But before I'm done, I'm going to play the video of one person here so that we get to hear it generally and we get to understand that these things are possible if you are willing to put in the work, right? Now, how can you get into the Scrum Master career path, right? I know this is a question that will be harboring in our hearts since the session. How can I get into the Scrum Master program? Josephine has done an amazing, fantastic job in telling us everything that we need to understand about a Scrum Master. She also brought us into the Jira software where we had a hands-on with respect to preparing backlogs for the 10 land, right? And like she mentioned, right, a Scrum Master is basically a facilitator and a coach for the team, right? So he or she helps on the project that they are working on using Scrum methods. And basically, he or she also interfaces with the product owner, the team members, and the stakeholders. And the amazing thing here is that you do not need to write any line of code. one thing I always tell people is that Scrum Master is one of the easiest way to get into the tech ecosystem. And it also promises an amazing returns, right? For places like UK, you have an average salary of £52,500, right? And places like Canada, you have as high as 74,000 Canadian dollars. And in US, you have close to 86,000 US dollars. And what are the things that you're going to learn when you join our class? So basically, it starts from introduction to Scrum. Like I mentioned initially, we're going to bring you from the ground zero to the upper level. So which means we're going to grill you, we're going to train you from the level that as if you do not know anything about Scrum, right? And from there, you get to move into the Scrum artifacts and Scrum team, right? Where you learn product backlog, like Josephine has mentioned today. Product backlog, she's done an amazing job. Basically, if you're trying to make jollof rice and the things that you are going to need to make that jollof rice, things like the rice, the oil, the tomatoes, the pepper, the onion, these are things that you get to put into your product backlog. And that's how, if you want to also build a product, right, you get to, for example, with the 10 lang, you have to put things in the backlog like the user creation, the profile creation, and things like that. Basically, and from there, you get to pull each of them out and be able to, start your sprints and, achieve the project in its entirety. And after the Scrum artifact, you move into increments and sprint backlog, where, of course, you are now going to be moving this project from in progress to, ongoing to completed and to testing, right? And also have the Scrum event, and you now move to the Nexus scaled Scrum. And after the program, you can easily write your PSM exam, right? And the tools that you are going to be using for the class are basically Jira for tracking project deliverables, and of course, Trello for team collaboration. And like Josephine mentioned, these tools are basically like the core service tool that we're using at the moment. We're using Zoom to make this call. But if you know how to use Zoom, you can easily make use of Google calls. You can easily make use of Microsoft Teams and stuff like that generally. So once you learn Jira and you learn Trello, you can easily be able to have hands-on in any other tool that Scrum Masters make use of. And our learning timeline is basically 2 months. So for 2 months, we are going to grill you. You are going to have a 1 month intensive class learning, right? 1 month intensive class learning where we take you through the curriculum and make sure that you understand it. After which, we'll now move you to the internship, right? And in that place, you get to work with lots of projects that you are going to put into your portfolio. So these projects are going to be things that are going to be hands-on and real life. And they're going to be things that when the recruiter is talking to you, okay, what project have you worked on? You can confidently say, okay, I was able to work on some project during my time at Analytics. I was able to do this. So you're going to have a lot of projects that is going to form part of your portfolio, that is going to help recruiters see that, okay, even though you're trying to get into the Scrum Master, you already have substantial experience in this area. So why exactly should you train with analytics, right? Our achievements speak for us. For example, we have a couple of videos on YouTube where our past students give testimonials on how their time was. But for in 2023 alone, we were able to help close to 900 people transition from our classroom into their first job in the tech ecosystem, right? And this cuts across UK, US, Canada, Europe, and Asia, and of course, Africa, right? So it doesn't seem as if our students also don't excel here in Africa. We have helped close to 900 people in the last year, and these are people that actually came back to say, okay, analytics, I've been able to secure jobs, thank you. We've trained close to 10,000 participants, and people come back on annual basis to say, thank you, I've been able to secure my job, this and that. And the reason why you should train with us, we've classified it into 5 basic classes, right? And I want you to follow attentively, right? Because it's not just to be able to secure or have the skills that you need as a Scrum Master. You also need to have the hands-on, you also need to have the industry experience and every necessary tool, employability services that you need for you to be able to excel. Number one reason why you should train with us is because we have up-to-date curriculum, right? As times are improving, we are constantly improving our curriculum to meet what the society, what the environment requires at the moment. And also we have industry experts with hands-on experience, people like Josephine that have worked in several fintechs, that have worked on several projects, that are going to walk you through the classroom and be able to hand train you into becoming an expert like them. And these are people that work in amazing places like Google, like Microsoft, like KPMG, and so on and so forth. And our trainings are blended into two main parts, right? We are going to have a live classes the way I'm talking to you right now. That's how someone is going to be talking to you in the classroom and be able to teach you everything that you need to know. And also, the classes are recorded, which means after the classes, during your personal time, if you didn't understand anything, you also have access to those classrooms so that you can be able to, watch all the videos again and be able to understand and, practice everything that you have learned in the class. So that's why we said, even if you miss classes, the recordings are always there for you, right? Which means you can always go back to the recording and watch them. And of course, number 4, which is our employability services. I'm still going to come and explain these employability services fully. And also the internship that has been designed to simulate real work environment. So all the case studies that you're going to work with in the classroom are basically real life case studies that we've codified and changed the names in there so that you can't easily say, oh, the project I'm working for is from this company. No, because of data privacy issues, we codify them and make sure to give you a codified case study. Now, we've positioned you for success in job market in a 3-layered approach, right? We've done this in 3 simple steps. And work with me. Let me show you how we've been able to itemize this so that we can get you from the classroom into the job, into a job, right? Level 1 is basically CV review sessions. So we have sessions where we also get to review your CV and be able to point out things and make it ATS compliant, right? So we're going to teach you how to, craft your CV to be able to get jobs. Because one thing that I've noticed in the past is that why people struggle to get jobs is because they've trivialized job applications. The same CV that you're using to apply for a Scrum Master role is the same CV you're using to apply for a project manager role, the same CV you're using to apply for a business analyst. No, you have to tailor your CV to the job requirements. And these are things that we also get offer you. And of course, LinkedIn optimization. I had a friend that just attended our LinkedIn optimization on Tuesday, and as on Wednesday, she gave feedback that a recruiter reached out to her on LinkedIn. And this is because of the optimization that we've taught everyone in the class to make to their own LinkedIn. And we also have the Upwork optimization, where you can also get to play in the freelance environment, get to work for companies in UK, US, Canada, while you are still stationed here in Nigeria. And of course, we're going to teach you how to navigate the job market, right? And number 1 reason why people actually struggle to get job basically is because they put the cart before the horse, right? And what do I mean by that? It's simply people are trying to get certifications without having the competence, right? And that's where the problem starts from. So everyone needs to be able to have the skill, have the competence, and then get the certificate. Just like something like Scrum. If you say, okay, let me just go and write the Scrum, the PSM examination, and then I'll now be certified person, Scrum Master, without knowing how to use these tools, without being able to speak in the Scrum Master language, you can't land any job. So by that case, you simply put the cart before the horse. So it's very, very important for you to be able to learn the skill and then get the certification. And these are things that we put you through in our additional employability services, where we'll get to tell you things that you need to know. And of course, we also have job and interview prep, where if you have an interview, you will block our calendar. We are going to have an interview prep session for you, where we'll teach you, where we'll tell you the using the SIT approach, how do I even answer the question of, okay, Chukwemeka, tell me about yourself. So it's in this job and interview prep that we get to teach you the SIT approach, using the SIT approach to answer some of these questions and things, the expected question that recruiters are going to also ask you in that interview. And also we give you and make provisions for recommendation and reference letters, right? So at any point that you have need for recommendation letter for school, for other jobs, and for anything, we are also able to provide this for you. And number two, of why you should be here, right? The additional employability, how we've already structured our learnings in three-layered approach is our weekly mentorship sessions. So there's what we do every Thursday, actually, where we bring in experts in the industry, where you get to have a mentor in the industry that will tell you, okay, this is how I was able to navigate this market. This is the mistake I made. If you do this, if you do that, you are not going to make the same mistake, right? And you also have a one-on-one link between this. Some of us struggle to be able to transition because we didn't have mentors, right? Anything that comes up if MongoDB comes, we jump and learn. If SQL comes, we jump and learn. If Looker job comes out, we jump and learn. We didn't have mentors. So we were remaining around for 2 years or plus before we were able to get into the tech ecosystem. But if you have active mentors that are constantly telling you, this is what you need to do, this is what you need not to do, you will easily be able to transition within a couple of months into the tech industry. And number two is on-the-job support, number 8, right? And that is, if you get a job and you are still trying to transition, you are still trying to understand what you are meant to do, we are also here to help you on the job. We also provide 1 month on-the-job support till you've learned the jobs, you've learned the role, and then we can now say, okay, Chukwemeka is now ready to now stand on his own. And all these things point towards the level 3, which is the ultimate thing that we're offering you. Our promise to you, right? That after you are done with this program, 1 month after completing the training, you will get an interview invite, right? And these are because we have a pool where recruiters also reach out to us and ask for certain people. So when these things happen, we now put students that have been in the classroom, people that passed through the internship phase, to them. And that is our promise to you. If you complete all your learning phase, your internship, your capstone with us, 1 month after completing this, we'll guarantee you a job interview. And of course, I've mentioned a lot about our internship programs where we give you opportunities to work on real life case studies, right? You get to work with real life data of things that are happening out there and also get to use it to build up your portfolio. We've made a couple of changes to our additions this 2024, and that's the body mentorship hub, right? So what this actually entails is that we brought people in the past, people that have passed through our classroom, they are currently working in industries, right? We are bringing them to the class to be able to serve as body mentors to our current students. So they've experienced what they are currently experiencing, and they can easily make recommendations. Okay, even though during my time I was writing my thesis in UK because I was trying to do my master's, this was how I was able to navigate it. So they are going to talk to you in a language that you understand. And number 2 initiative is the internship experience that will be optimized, right? We give you case studies that are going to make you build up your portfolio and be able to have substantial projects in it once you are done training with us. And number 3 is the partnership we have with recruitment agencies in UK, Canada, US, and Africa. We currently have partnership with these guys that at the point that they need students, people like Hayes Recruitment, Robert Havinash, at the point that they need students they need people to fill roles, they reach out to us. And what do? We look at the pool of students that we have that have graduated, and we push people to them for the company to be able to interview them and be able to, offer them that job. And like I mentioned, by virtue of you being on this course at this very moment, you have a discount for being here, right? And this discount is not for everyone. It's just for the first 10 people that are able to join the program. And one thing I've noticed in the past is that once we have sessions like this, the discounts are easily filled, right? Because the discount is not for everyone. It's just for the 10 people. And before you know it, people take up these 10 options that are available. And what's the payment for Scrum Master like? For you to be able to get into a Scrum Master class, it will cost you $450 full amount, but we've discounted it for you to have $350. So once you pay $350, you are already in the class, right? And in pounds, the discounted amount is £295, and in Canadian dollars, it is 490 Canadian dollars, and in naira, it is 420,000 naira, right? And this is where it gets very, very interesting. If you are able to make the first payment, you've already locked down the option of the discounted amount, right? So if all I have at this point to start the journey into the Scrum Master is $250, I can make this payment. Then 1 month after the March cohort has started, I can now make the second payment of $100, right? And this is also applicable to the pounds. You can make £200 down payment. 1 month into the program, you now make the remaining £95. You can also make 350 card, that's Canadian dollars, payment, first payment, and 1 month into the program, you can now also make the other payment of 140 Canadian dollars. Or you can make the payments of 300,000 naira, and then 1 month into the program, you can now make the second payment of 120,000 naira. Trust me, you cannot get Scrum Master training anywhere this cheap. You can't get it this cheap. And we don't only offer you the skills, the competence, the tools to learn. We also give you other employability services that will help you get job immediately you are done with us, right? So I'm going to just walk us through how to make payments for people that are asking, right? So if you want to make payments, it's simple. My colleague has dropped the link in the chat box. She dropped the link in the chat box. So once you click on that link, there, the main start link is going to take you to where you can make payments. So my screen is coming up, and I'm going to share it right now. Okay, it's analytics enrollment page. Please kindly confirm if you can still see my screen, please. So once you've clicked on the link, it's going to bring you here. And this is basically the Analytics Enrollment Center, where you're going to see all the courses that we offer, their prices, the discounted amounts, and this is what you are going to be paying. And for you to be able to get access to our program, you have to make these payments, right? So once you've logged into it, you can make direct transfer to a pounds account, which is Wise Bank, and the account name is Analytics. You can see it here, Wise Bank. My colleague is going to drop it in the chat box. We also have a Fidelity Bank account, which she is going to drop. So still on the link, you can click on the Scrum Master option. So once you click on the Scrum Master option, it's going to bring up the option for you to make this payment. So you are seeing the price is 420, right? And the minimum you can make is 300,000 initially, or second option of which will now make the complete 120 into the program. And once you click on reserve a seat, it's going to bring you option of checkout information, where you get to put your name. You can put Chukwemeka, right? You get to put your name, put your email address, put your phone number, your phone, and then you proceed. And once you proceed, you are still going to see the options of how you can easily make this payment. I don't know, Lydia, have you dropped the Fidelity Bank? Okay, the account is there. So in the chat box, you can also see our UK account details, which is Wise Bank, and please take note of the sort code. And of course, you see the Nigerian account details, which is Fidelity Bank account. Both account names are Analytics, right? So this is easily how you can make payments and join our classroom. Remember, this option is not for everybody. The discounted amount is not for everybody. You have to make sure that you are amongst the first 10 people to make the payment for you to be able to have access to this. Like I said initially, I said I'm going to play the video of our past students so that we get to understand what it's like to be in our class. So I'm going to play one testimonial video from ICMAT. I like playing ICMAT video because it's something that everyone can easily resonate with. But once you get this slide, you can easily click on any of the links and you will be able to, hear what they had to say about the analytics, right? So my video is coming up. All right, please confirm that you can still see my screen. Confirm that you can still see my screen. All right, it's still loading. So basically, you can also go to our YouTube channel and you are going to see all the testimonials that we have from the past students, how they were able to navigate the classroom, what were they able to do to be able to secure job, and how we helped them to transition into this exact field, right? How we help them to transition into this exact field. It's taking, okay, yeah, it's coming up.
Are you a STEM professional and are looking to apply for U.S. permanent residency?
Hi everyone, my name is Ikmat and I was with the March cohort in 10 Analytics, and joining 10 Analytics has been the best decision so far. For me, someone coming from a background of full housewife, because I had to stay back home to look after my child for 4 years, and then wanting to break into something new, wanting to go back into the workforce, wanting to place myself in the society for better job opportunities. So it was a lot. And then I'm glad that Analytics came along and then they presented me with so many opportunities right in front of me, better opportunities. And then I'm glad I took it. And then also the advice of do not sell yourself short, that Effie is always saying, it is very, very valid, because place yourself right, don't sell yourself short. It's a very, very, very valid advice. In Analytics, they will hold your hands like a child, through the modules. You have the opportunity to go back and study. You have the opportunity to go back and practice. You have the opportunity to ask questions. You have people you can always go back to, even outside of class hours. It's the most amazing experience so far, really. And then another thing is the interview prep, guys. That is another very important thing. I did my interview prep with Mr. Mohammed, and it is the best decision ever, because it was like he saw into the future. He knew what was going to be asked, and I'm glad that I wrote down all the things he mentioned. I went back to practice, and then when it was time for the interview, it was like everything he mentioned, they kept on. And then when I was answering those questions, I was so confident, because I already practiced. I did an Excel test, I did a maths test, and then they were really impressed. And another thing is, guys, it may not come as fast as you expect. Definitely you are going to get some no's, and then you may begin to think you're not good enough. You are good enough, yes. The no's will come, but always take it as a basis for learning and development, because after every interview where I got a no, I always make sure I get a personal feedback. So I work on those feedbacks for my next interviews. And yes, it worked. It really worked for me, because I got my first job 3 months into the program, my first job. But I couldn't take up the job because I was a student and I was only eligible to work 20 hours. So I couldn't take up the job. 3 months later, I got 2 jobs with full visa sponsorship. And guys, all the other no's before the 2 jobs prepared me for the yeses I got. So yes, the no's will come, but do not give up, because you always have Analytics to go back to. They are the best and the best thing that's ever happened to me. And then yes, and they are the most affordable one I've come across so far, and that's the very good advantage. So yes, Analytics for the win.
Yeah.
Hi everyone,
Yeah,
my name
fantastic.
is Emma, and
I hope we heard that, right? So basically, this is just to tell you that once you join our program, once you complete your session, what Ikmat said, 3 months into the program, she got jobs, but she wasn't able to take it because of her restriction within her working hours over there in UK because she was still a student. But immediately she completed the session again, she had other invites, right? She had several other recruiters. She got 2 jobs actually. And then she was able to select the one that was very, very, very profitable for her and also offered her a full visa sponsorship. So, like I mentioned, this is the opportunity to transition by making use of these discounts that we currently offer, right? And this is not for everyone. Once the slot is filled, the discount is gone, right? Once the slot is filled, the discount is gone. And what happens is that once we are doing sessions like this, we had close to 100 people on the call. People were already making payments. And before you know it, the slots are gone, right? So what I always advise people is take advantage of this time and be able to make the payments using the first payment option. So that's 1 month into the program, you can now make the other payment, right? Make the payment, the first payment, $250, £200, 350 Canadian dollars, 300,000 naira. Then 1 month into the program, you can now make the second payment. I don't know whether we have questions, clarification from anyone. So this is your time to ask us questions. Your time, you can easily use the raise hand icon and we are going to ask you to unmute, all right? Or you can type your question in the chat box. Do you have any question, clarification, comments from anyone that we can take right now before we continue? Any question from anyone? Are you guys following me or have I been talking to myself? Hi guys, do we have any question from anybody? When is the next class starting? Yes, the next class is starting 2nd March 2024. Saturday, 2nd March 2024. So it's very important. We start cohort every beginning Saturday of the month, but prices varies, right? For the 2nd of March, this is the price we currently offer. So what I always advise people to also do is that even if you are planning to start in April, right? You can still lock your pricing now by making payments now, and then you now unlock your deferment. We have 1 month option for you to defer. So you can make payments in March and defer to April. That's when you want to start your classes. So by that, you have taken advantage of the current pricing of today because we know what's currently happening with the economics of all the world, US, UK, Nigeria. Everything is just, moving on a very high scale. So it's very important that you take advantage of the pricing as at today and lock it down. All right. So I think, I don't know whether that answers your question. All right. Hi. Okay. Is the class online? Yes, the class is fully online. We are going to have a tutor like myself, Josephine, in the class that's going to put you through everything that you need to know. And the videos are also recorded. So even if you miss classes, you also always have recourse to go to the videos and rewatch it. Okay? How is the lecture structure? Is it an every session or something? Okay, Josh, the lectures are only on Saturdays and Sundays, right? Classes are Saturdays and Sundays. On Saturdays, it starts from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., right? For 3 hours, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And on Sundays, it starts from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Sundays. So these are how our timings are, okay? So you have classes only on Saturdays and Sundays for Scrum Master. And you have lifetime access to the Google Classroom, right? So you can easily go to the Google Classroom to rewatch videos that you've been taught in the class so that you can have better understandings. I don't know whether that answers your question, Josh. All right. So please, if you have any question, clarification, if you want to speak, you can use the raise hand icon and I'm going to ask you to unmute. All right. Abubakar Nasidi, Andrew Collins, Bello, Betty Chebet, Catherine, the greatest, Jolapo, Imem, Ezekiel, Gabriel, Grace, Josh have asked question, Joy, Casey, iPhone, Mafeng, Maimuna. So if I'm calling you guys so that you will know that I'm seeing you on my screen. So please ask me questions so that we can be able to help you transition into the tech ecosystem. All right. So just use the raise hand icon and I'm going to ask you to unmute. Okay. Use the raise hand icon and I'm going to ask you to unmute. Okay. I'm waiting for your questions, please. When will the next Zoom class hold? Because I literally missed this current class. So Andrew, our Zoom classes are basically for you to be able to understand what we do at analytics, right? So we have a couple of classes, a couple of master classes like this one, where we tell you what Scrum Masters do, but you will not really understand, you will not really fully transition from what you are doing to becoming a Scrum Master by being on sessions like this, right? So it's until you join the classes fully, the next that you'll be able to understand what is available. Is next class a continuation of this one? No, this is not a class, right? This is just a session where we are telling you what Scrum Masters do and why tech recruiters actually want Scrum Masters more than project managers, right? So our classes start by you joining our program, right? Once you join our program, once you make payments and join our classes, then your classes are going to start. And they start from March 2nd, Saturday, March 2nd. That is when our program starts, okay? This is just like a session where we're telling you about Scrum Master, how you can transition to being a Scrum Master, and why Scrum Masters are in high demand, okay? MM asks, I'm doing a 9 to 5. How do I juggle this with my current job? Will there be an exception during the week, like group work, project, etc.? All right. So MM, basically, the classes are weekends. That's Saturday and Sunday, right? And then you also have access to watch the videos within the week. And of course, you'll be given projects that you can work on. You'll be given projects. You'll be given assignments to do. And we'll have what we call drop-in sessions, where within the week, on Wednesdays in the nights like this by 9 p.m. or 10 p.m., depending on the agreements that your class has, you are going to have like a 1 hour sit down where you are going to tell the facilitator, okay, this is a challenge I had with respect to the assignment you gave us, right? So the drop-in is basically important for people that are struggling with class work or people that are struggling with understanding. So you get to have that weekday drop-in session where you will learn, right? And you ask questions and this will be easily explained to you. Also, we have what we call mentorship sessions on Thursdays, where you also get experts from the field to come and talk to you on what to expect when you transition. So basically, your weekly obligations are just 1 hour or thereabouts for you to understand the other employability aspects, where we also have CV review sessions, LinkedIn optimization sessions, and so on and so forth. But basically, these are done in the night. They are done by 9 p.m. West African time, by 10 p.m. West African time, right? So you can easily navigate this what I always tell people is that even if your workload is too much, you can always have access to the videos, right? And once you are done watching the video, it will be like you experiencing what people in the class also experience. So you can do this, all right? Salah is asking whether it is paid. Yes, Salah, it is a paid training. The trainings are paid. All right, can you please repeat discounted fees? I didn't quite get the Naira part. Okay, Abubakar and Salah, I'm going to go back to the payment option. So basically, this is what the payment is like. For the discounted amount in dollars is $350, £295, 490 Canadian dollars, and 420,000 Naira. But you can lock down your discounted amount by making a first payment. So you can decide to make 300,000 Naira payment today, and you've locked down that discounted amount. Then 1 month into the program, 1 month after the program has started, you will now complete your payments with 120,000 naira. And this is also applicable to the other currencies. You can lock it down with $250. You can lock it down with 200 pounds. You can also lock it down with 350 Canadian dollars. Then 1 month into the program, you can now make payments of 100 pounds, of $100, of 95 pounds, and 440 Canadian dollar. I don't know whether that answers your question, Abubakar. I don't know whether that answers your question. What are the hardware requirements for this class, like a laptop and the specs? Okay, Abubakar, so basically you just need a laptop, right? Any 4GB RAM laptop can be able to run the class. It should be able to carry the Trello, the Jira, because these are all web-based dashboards, right? They're all web pages, so it can easily run it. Just have a laptop and an internet, and you are good to go. Okay. All right. I don't know whether we'll have other questions. You guys should speak to me, all right? This is a session where you, even if you do not make your decision yet, you can still make the payment. Then after, when you are about to upload your receipt, there's an option to upload your receipt. You can choose the option to speak to an expert. So you're going to have a one-on-one session. We'll call it clarity calls, where we also clarify you on some of the things that you need to understand going into the tech ecosystem, right? So do we still have questions from anyone? I'm here, Josephine is here to take care of any question that you have for us. Hi, Andrew. Hi, Bello. Hi, Betsy. Do you have questions for us before we call it a day? Okay, is it dropping and method session the only activities during the week that I will need to be available? I understand that the class video will be also available. My concern is with other real-time activities. I'm just concerned about not meeting the demands and sort of the dates you've mentioned. Yes, so basically, the only thing that you'll be tasked to do during the week is just the drop-in sessions and the mentorship sessions, right? Drop-in sessions where you get to work on and ask questions on the projects you are given in class, and then mentorship session where you are mentored on what to expect in the field. And also CV review sessions, LinkedIn optimization sessions, and so on and so forth. These are only the things that you do during the week. Our classes are fully on weekends, right? They are fully Saturdays and Sundays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and on Sunday, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. So, Imam, I don't know whether that also clarifies you more. Okay, my colleague has dropped the payment option on the chat box again. So once you click on the main Stack link, you can easily navigate how to make payments like I have also shown us. All right, do we have question, clarification, or comments from anyone? David Abulu, I've not heard from you. Do you want to unmute and ask question? Hi, David. Just raise your hand and I'm going to ask you to unmute, okay? Hi, Dolapo. Hi, okay, MM has asked question. Hi, Ezekiel. Hi, Gabriel. Hi, Grace. Hi, Josh. Hi, Joy. Casey, Martins, Ocheze, Omotoyesi, Obaluwa, Scholar, Sajudin, Uche, Triple A, and Van de Fan. Please feel free to raise your hand and ask question. I'm going to ask you to unmute. Or you can type your question in the chat box and I am also going to take it up from there. All right, so we have a couple of minutes remaining before we call it a day, right? So please feel free to ask your question now. So Gabriel, you'll be able to get the recording of this session if you fill the attendance sheet that my colleague Lydia has been dropping in the chat box. So just click on the link for the attendance and put down your details. And after this class, you are going to get the recorded session and also the slides. Okay, my colleague Adam just dropped it in the chat box again. All right, thank you, Adam. All right, do we have any more question, clarification, or comments from anyone before we call it a day? Any question, clarification, or comments from anyone? Please feel free to ask me a question. Okay, time frame to complete the course. So for the Scrum Master program, you have a 1 month immersive learning every Saturday, 1 month, and that's when you complete your coursework. And after, you also have 1 month internship where you also get to work with several case studies, several projects that will help you build up your portfolio. So it's in summary, it's 2 months where you have 1 month classroom learning and then 1 month internship. But what we've experienced in the past is that people 1 month into the program, they are already getting interview invites, right? Because as you are learning, we always advise people to learn in the public. You are learning, you're optimizing your LinkedIn, you're making posts, recruiters are reaching out to you. So while you are still learning, within that 1 month, people are also reaching out to you. Sorry, that is this course cover certificates and what type? Of course, Abubakar, once you are done with the program, you are going to get a specially curated certificate of Scrum Master from Tenalytics. Yeah, you are going to get a Scrum Master certificate from Tenalytics. Okay, so please remember, the discount doesn't run forever. The discount doesn't run forever. Once the total number of people is filled, you will not be making the discounted payments again. You'll now be obliged to make the full amount. So, like I've been saying, I always advise people to take advantage of this. By virtue of you being on this call to this moment, take the leap of faith and make the payments. Because tomorrow, it might be too late, okay? Tomorrow, it might be too late. All right. Do we still have any question, comment, or clarification from anyone? Let's take it before we call it a day. Any question, comment, or clarification from anyone? And please, if you've not filled the attendance, try and make sure that you fill it so that you will have access to the slide and the recordings and also be able to have a full understanding of what we've been talking about. Okay, my colleague just dropped the attendance again. Is internship period I'm also concerned about working on real projects, asking if there will be other days one needs to be available. So the internship period is also done the way the class is structured, right? You just have during the week you have drop-ins where you also get to discuss on the projects that you've been given, right? On the task, because it's basically what we try to do is to make it a real life scenario where you also get to work with business analysts that we already have, software developers that we already have. So it's like a full project, right? So the group is now going to decide on the weekdays how they get interact. But basically, it's not something that is going to take a lot of your time. Trust me, it's not something that is going to take a lot of your time. It's all carried out in the night by hours like this, 9 p.m., 10 p.m. You guys come together and work on some projects. 30 minutes, 1 hour, and you are done. Can it be possible to reduce the 300K starting price? Yeah, Martins, fantastic question. Of course, if you want to get into the program and you cannot make that initial payment option, what I advise you to do is to email this email I'm dropping right now, Elijah at Tenalytics tenalytics.org. Okay, so once you email Elijah and just specifically tell Elijah how you want to structure your payments, how you want this to go, and he is going to take it up from there. So I just dropped the email, Elijah at tenalytics.org. So Martins, just send an email to that handle and specifically detail us what you want. And this also goes to everyone that wants to structure a different kind of payment. Just send an email to Elijah, possibly this night. Try and send that email this night so that we can make our arrangements for you before the discounted slot is filled. Hello, can you answer my question, please? Dolapo, please, what is your question? I may have missed that. What if someone is behind and couldn't cover everything in 2 months? Okay, Dolapo, so basically, that is why these sessions are recorded, right? So each class that you pass through, we have Google Classroom where we upload the slide that the facilitator used. We upload the recordings of the classroom and all the materials you need. So, and you have lifetime access to these materials. So once you're not following on anything, you can easily go back and watch the videos, right? And if you do not understand things that was said in the video, that is where your drop-in session now comes in. So every week during on Wednesdays or Thursdays, depending on the class, we have 1 hour drop-in sessions where we all come together and you get to talk to your facilitator where you're having challenges, right? And they will put you through it. Okay, Dolab, I don't know whether that answers your question. Fantastic session so far. Josephine, I don't know whether you're still on the call. Is there anything you want to say to the house before we call it a day here?
Yes, I'm still on the call. So what I want to say is I just want to urge everybody that the right time to become a Scrum Master is now. It's at this moment because looking at the tech ecosystem, this is one of the easiest career paths to go into. I mean, you don't need any prior tech knowledge. You don't need any prior tech. You don't need to have probably even study tech in software or some form of IT in the university. You don't need to know how to code, not even a line of code. But the great thing is that you are working as a Scrum Master with every other person in the tech space, the software engineers, and you're supporting them, you're facilitating the Scrum events, and you're helping everybody in a collaborative way to deliver projects faster to the market. So what I'm saying in a nutshell is the time is now. Don't procrastinate. 2024, there's so much happening on LinkedIn. You can land a job right now, and you need to be ready for you to land those jobs. Tech money is sweet. For me, I think you skipped that part of asking me what was the main drive to become a Scrum Master, Chief Maker. And I would always say it's tech money. Tech money is sweet, is interesting, and that is the major drive. Aside the fact that you're part of interesting projects, but the money is great, and we all need to, queue into this. So thank you very much. I hope to see a whole lot of us in the next March cohort, and we'll have a great time studying Agile.
All right, thank you so much for that, Josephine. So Josephine, in summary, said tech money is sweet, right? And you can't have access to this money without getting the necessary skills, without being competent as a Scrum Master. So get the skills through analytics, and then you will have access to that tech money. I don't know whether we'll have any question, clarification, or comments from anyone before we call it a day from here. Any question or comments from anyone? All right. So in the absence of any more question, we are good, like Gabriel said, right? In the absence of any other question, I hope to see everyone on this call in the March cohort, right? And please try to take advantage of the discounted amount. Tomorrow may be too late. So on this note, I say a very big thank you to everyone for joining us, and have a wonderful night and good night from here. Cheers, guys.